Good afternoon. Małgorzata Bonikowska, the Center for International Relations. Welcome after a summer break to our monthly meeting, monthly diplomatic coffee we do with the ambassadors of non-European countries who work from Poland. Today, the topic is Pakistan, and let me introduce to you the ambassador of Pakistan to Poland, Mr. Malik Farooq. Malik Farooq. Good morning, sir. Thank you for being with us. We do this series together with partners, National Geographic Traveler, Weco-Travel, and Heart on Fire. And let me welcome my colleague, Michał Rejent, who will also moderate this session today. Michael, hello.
Hello, good evening, Małgorzata, and good evening, Your Excellency, today.
Yeah, good evening. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, thanks for being with us. Of course, one of the reasons we wanted to talk about Pakistan these days is that everybody, the whole world, looks at the region these days. The reason is, of course, the situation in Afghanistan, which was quite a surprise for many. We will not talk about Afghanistan today, but we would like to understand a little bit the dynamics in the region, and also Pakistan as a very important country of the region, one of the important players, and the big country also by population. It's 215 million people, a very vibrant culture and society. So the first question, let me start with this maybe. If you want to tell us, to tell the foreigners who don't know much about the region, the series is dedicated especially to the people who like to travel, but they are not experts in foreign affairs. They are students, they are travelers. What should we know? How would you describe your own people, your own society?
Yeah, thank you very much. First of all, I'm grateful to you and Mr. Michał Rejent for having me here, and it's a great honor for me to be one of the guests of your prestigious institution. And as you said, that the region, the South Asia region, is always full of thrill and adventure. You know, there's hardly any time when you have a quiet and a peaceful situation over there, especially as you see after the 9/11 situation has not been that good in Afghanistan. The US and the NATO troops were there helping for some peace in the country. And Afghanistan, we cannot talk in isolation, because these days it's not only anything which is related to, especially to security, is not confined to one country itself these days. It can go to the region, and even to the beyond that region, to at the global level. And we, being as the neighbor, have been advocating a peaceful, a political settlement of the Afghan issue, which has been going on for a number of years. As you know, after the withdrawal of Soviet troops, we had over 4 million Afghan refugees in our country, and we wanted them to go back with honor and dignity. And the current situation, of course, as you know, once the US and the NATO troops withdraw, the Taliban, the way they came, it was a surprise for everybody. The government.
Your Excellency, but let me introduce here, because we would like to focus more on Pakistan than Afghanistan, but we know that as far as the geographical neighborhood, you have the border, you are very close to Afghanistan, and also as far as people are concerned, the traditions, certain habits and culture are similar. You actually, as Pakistan, if you look at the map, you are in between Afghanistan, India, Iran, and China. Could you just help us, help the readers of National Geographic Traveler, help those who are interested in knowing more about this part of the world, understand about what is really Pakistan and what is this society all about? Please unmute yourself.
A very multicultural, or a very diverse society, a population of over 220 million, with over 74% of the population in the age bracket of 18 to 35 years, which is of course, as you know, is a very big number. But as you said, on one side we have China, being the a country with a huge population from the rest of the world, and on the other side we have India, again a very big country. The relations, as you know, have been not that good with India, but we all know that Pakistan and China have very deep-rooted friendly relations ever since the independence. China is one of our time-tested friend, but on the other side, we have been facing problems with India because of the disputed territory of Kashmir, because we believe that the people of Kashmir should be given the right to self-determination. On the other side, we have Iran, another Islamic country, very brotherly country. We have excellent relations with them. Afghanistan has also been enjoying very cordial and friendly relations, because of course we share a very long border. It's over 1,800 kilometers of border between Pakistan and Afghanistan. It's a long, very long border. And that is why, as I said, that we want a peaceful Afghanistan, because this is not good only for the people in Afghanistan, for Afghanistan country itself, but also for Pakistan as a neighbor, and then of course for the whole region. Because until unless we do not have stability and peace in Afghanistan, it's very difficult to have a peaceful Pakistan as well, because our security concerns are extremely linked with the peace and stability in Afghanistan. Pakistan is a country which has many cultures. We have 4 provinces. Punjab is the biggest one with 52% of the population. Then we have Sindh, we have KPK, what we call Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and we have Balochistan. Balochistan is the largest province in terms of area. Then we have Gilgit-Baltistan, and of course Azad Jammu and Kashmir. This is what Pakistan is. If you start talking about Punjab itself, it will take like the whole day to explain its culture, its traditions. It's not that I'm a Pakistani and I talk more about Pakistan, and I will urge and I will request all those viewers who are watching this, please do visit Pakistan once at least. Just have.
This is quite complicated in the time of pandemic right now. We'll put at the end some question concerning how really to do it. But let me go back to the society itself, because of course it's a huge population, over 200 million people, but it's growing. And yes, we have a question from our viewers already that in the 2050, there is a prediction that it could be double. The population can reach out to 400 million. So the question would be, what are the challenges, to have a government who has to, organize the life of such a vibrant population and such a huge population in such a difficult region?
Yeah, true. It's true, because our growth rate is quite high, and the government is taking some measures to this. But of course, as you know, it's a majority of the Muslim population, and especially in the rural areas, they have their own beliefs and thinkings about the family planning stuff. But on one side, it's good that we have a youth population of over 74%. But at the same time, it is becoming an issue because the government is not able to create that much of jobs, for example. So there is an issue of unemployment in Pakistan also, because all those graduates who are getting degrees from the universities, they're not getting the jobs as per their qualification. That is why these youngsters, they look for the countries where the opportunities of the jobs are available. For example, Europe is destination number 1 for a youngster in Pakistan. It's purely from the economic point of view.
If you start at this point, let me just ask you about also perception of Europe in your country, because of course Europe now is expecting another wave of immigration from Afghanistan, but we know also that generally Southeast Asia South Asia. These are the countries from where people come also to work in Europe. Poland is the country who is interested in having these workers coming. We are really one of the top countries in the EU to give the work permits for these workers, but in the same time, we are a little bit afraid of another migration crisis in Poland and in Europe too. How do you see, I'm not talking about you as a person, but you as a Pakistani, what is really the perception of Europe in your country now?
Thank you very much. First, I would answer this question that can we go to Pakistan during the pandemic? If the situation is more or less the same everywhere in the world. The government has taken certain measures. Of course, if you have this PCR test with you, then you can travel to Pakistan. There is no problem in that. I will talk more about the current situation of how the government is handling this COVID situation and what is the current situation actually. Coming back to your question, as I said, that Europe is like a fantasy or dreamland of a youngster in Pakistan. And that is very much from the economic point of view. And because, as I said, that a young guy with a good qualification, if he or she does not get a good job, then he looks around the opportunities. And then, of course, the life here, the quality of life is much better in Europe. So that is the preference number one for, especially for a youngster. In coming to any of the European countries. And if we talk about Poland, it's a new market for us. As you said, Poland is opening its market for the workers to come. We process certain demands from different Polish companies in the embassy also, like it's more than 2,000 workers have come just recently. We welcome this. And we are grateful to the government of Poland for helping us and taking the skilled or semi-skilled workers from Pakistan.
So Poland could be a little bit a new opportunity for Pakistani, but could you describe a little bit more this economic cooperation between Pakistan and Poland? How many products and what are the most popular products from Pakistan on the Polish market and vice versa?
Okay, if we talk about the economic relations first, you have to touch or give a little bit hint of the political relations. And the Pakistan and Poland has extremely smooth and friendly and cordial relations in terms of if we talk about in the political sphere. And then linked to that is the economic relations, the trade ties between the two countries. The current volume is around 540 million, but it is far below the potential. There is huge options and opportunities available between the two countries. Pakistan generally export textile products to Poland. We have a little bit market of the rice also, and as you know that we organize a mango festival because we want that the mango festival should be available in the Polish market. So this
and mango is still the fruit which is not very popular in this market. I think the Poles still discover this fruit.
No, it's true. But once, as we say, that once you taste Pakistani mango, it means that you have eaten a mango.
Well, and also what we know is definitely that there are many companies from our textile industry to import the fabrics from Pakistan. That's well known already. And as far as the European Union, I want to ask you about very, simple question, but difficult answer maybe. How much of understanding would be, among the Pakistani citizens about this concept of this European Union? Is it understood? Is it popular? Or is just seen, Europe is just seen country by country?
Generally, this you can divide in two parts. One, of course, is the upper class of the society, or the kind of those people who have a certain qualification. They know about the European Union. But purely, as I said, they know that it's an economic block. And normally, as you know, that the European Union has not been interfering in the political issues. Even they have removed the barriers from among themselves, especially from the political point of view. But if you go to the remote areas, they may not be knowing European Union, but they do know Germany, France, Italy, Spain, and Greece, or even now, as I said, Poland also. European Union is the second largest trading partner of Pakistan. After signing of this GSP plus, or the European Union granted the GSP plus status to Pakistan, the trade has increased tremendously. But the balance is still in the favor of the European Union. Our imports are 52%. The trade volume is over 12 billion. So out of those 12 billion, 52% are over imports. It means that the GSP plus status has given advantage to the EU as compared to Pakistan. But it is beneficial for both. So we always say that it's a kind of a win-win situation for the EU as well as for Pakistan. We signed a strategic engagement plan in 2019, which is a very vast, a very comprehensive document, which is covering every aspect of the relations between Pakistan and the European Union. We have another agreement with the name of EURA, what you get, Pakistan EU Readmission Agreement, which has two segments. One is to repatriate all illegal Pakistanis, and at the same time to promote legal migration, because this is the phenomena which every country is not letting illegal people to stay in the country. So we are taking all those who do not have any legal document to stay in a country, but at the same time we ask our European friends and partners to help us in promotion of legal migration, so that this channel of human trafficking and all these illegal means should be stopped.
You are mentioning this economic cooperation and business tie-ups, but that's the common general question when people think about Pakistan and the whole region. Is it safe? Is it really safe to go there, to do business there?
Yeah, it's perfectly safe. As I said, the current government has introduced very friendly and positive steps, especially in terms of doing the business. And as you know, Pakistan improved its ranking in the ease of doing business. We have there was a situation after this 9/11. We had the security concerns in the country. There were, of course, the terrorist groups, the Taliban. They were having bomb blasts in some parts of the country. But now, thanks God, the security situation in Pakistan is extremely normal. The government is introducing different steps which can facilitate a businessman to go and do business in Pakistan. And we have plenty of options available. There are so much of opportunities available. For example, the current government's focus is on tourism, especially in the northern side of Pakistan. So we need the infrastructure, and for that we need investments from any of our the friends who can come and invest. Then we have this China-Pakistan economic corridor, and along with that corridor we have 5 export promotion zones. So we need investment in that sector also. So as I said, that the current situation is extremely normal from the security point of view. And if you talk about the opportunities, there are plenty of opportunities available. And I know that Poland has many options available where we can work on collaboration in different sectors between Pakistan and Poland.
Before I give the floor to Michael, I want to quote another question from our audience about religion. Of course, we know that Pakistan is a Muslim country, 96% of the population are Muslims, but they are also small minority groups. Could you elaborate a little bit about it?
Yeah, if you go purely from statistics point of view, the population percentage of Muslims is around 85%. We have 9 to 10% Christian population. Then we have 1 or 2% Hindus, Sikhs also. So there's no problem. There's absolutely coexistence and harmony. But of course, sometimes, these small political issues, they are given that much of extent that ultimately it is given a kind of a touch of any affiliation with any religious or any ethnic group. But overall, it's a very homogeneous society. I have one of my close friends, rather they are 2, and they both have Christians. We do not have any problem with anybody having any kind of belief. He or she is absolutely free to practice And this is actually written in the Constitution of Pakistan. It's one of the fundamental rights that nobody should have any right to stop anybody to believe or to practice his or her religion.
Dear Ambassador, if one would like to know more about Pakistan, except the delightful taste of mangoes, what are the most characteristic elements of Pakistani culture and its people? Like maybe five elements.
True. As I said, that it's a very diversity, of course, is the main characteristic of Pakistani culture. We take a lot of honor in patriotism, in a kind of a collective thinking, in moving together as a group. Respect for the family, the tradition, of course, the religion always take precedence among of all the other things. So there are many characteristics of Pakistani culture, and we have a very old civilization, this Indus civilization. So one part of Pakistan, like the south of Punjab, and even half of Sindh has many sites where if you visit, you can see the oldest of all the civilizations. And if you go on the north side, we say that this is the base of Buddhism. We have two cities, one in Punjab with the name of Taxla. It's very close to Islamabad. It's just 40 minutes drive from Islamabad. We have a museum over there, and many people especially from Japan and Korea, South Korea, they visit Pakistan from the religious point of view. Same is the case with this Sikh population in India. They have the most sacred of their the religious sites are in Pakistan. So it's a wonderful place to visit. By all means, once you go, you will see all the colors. If you go to city, you will enjoy a metropolitan kind of life. But if you go to remote areas, you will see how people they work. They go to their farms. They doing all the stuff. So, and every time we do have a lot of festivals throughout the year. Some are linked with the religion, some are linked with the traditions of a town or a village, and sometimes these of course in the cities, of course there are events like if you have an Eid festival or our National Day or Independence Day, like yesterday was our Defense Day. So there are plenty of options available. So
and I'm sure our viewers are already convinced to go, but in current situation, there is no possibility to visit Pakistan. Do you know what are the perspectives of such possibility of visit?
If you're talking about the situation of COVID,
yes.
It's very difficult to say any, draw any timeline. Everybody is with the same wish as we are, that we get over with this pandemic and the situation gets normal. But I think now everybody is realizing that we have to live with this. Either way, either you get, a kind of a herd immunity, or you get some kind of a vaccine which can help you in boosting your immunity. But if I can explain here the current situation and how the government managed this COVID situation. Last year, this situation was not good, especially in November, December. And then this new Delta, this Indian variant, then it started in India because of the two festivals where they allowed people to go. And then, it spread all over the India. We were also extremely fearful that because we are just next door neighbors and there is a lot of back and forth movement. But and the government took some tough measures. Of course, as you know, it's a developing country. Many people are daily wages. So the government cannot close the shops and let the people stay inside or force the people to stay inside. So it was a very difficult kind of a decision. And of course, the federal government has its government in 3 provinces, but in Sindh, it's under the rule of the opposition party. So, of course, the political differences always come between. But on this particular issue, the whole country or all the governments, including the provincial government, because health basically is a provincial subject in Pakistan. The federal government can only issue the advisories, but implementation and overall it comes under the purely under the jurisdiction of the provinces. But all realized the gravity of the situation, and thanks God, we managed to control. Then the government also redoubled its effort of vaccinating the people. There were some resistance about vaccine also, but I have seen also here in Poland there are people who are not ready to get vaccinated. So we also have this kind of conspiracies going on about the vaccines, all this stuff. But currently, of course, as you know, it's 220 million people. It's giving vaccine to everybody is not that easy, but government is making every possible effort, giving kind of smart lockdowns if they in different clusters, or allowing people just to open the shop for alternate days, things like that. So it was kind of a mixed match of different steps which were taken, and somehow it is under control. Currently, the situation is not. It's the infection rate is around 8% right now, and even because of this Delta, the mortality rate is also a bit high. It's right now, if I'm talking about today. But we hope that in the coming days the situation will improve.
Your Excellency, so maybe meanwhile, before we go to Pakistan, you could suggest some Pakistan movie or movies that can allow our viewers to better know Pakistan or its culture. Do you know any good movies about Pakistan?
Yeah, very difficult question. Yeah. I don't remember exactly the names, but if you allow me, I can send you some names, because it depends actually, what kind of movie, or it's purely you want to know about the culture of Pakistan. But as you know, in most of the movies, half of these are picturized in the country, and the rest are somewhere outside in Switzerland or in Turkey or somewhere else. So, but I will share some of the names, Pakistani movies, which if somebody is really interested, so they can watch them before going to the country. But I will suggest seeing is believing. So better would be that instead of watching the movie sitting in front of the monitor or the TV screen, better visit Pakistan.
Okay, so if you have to choose one city that, if one has to choose only one city in Pakistan, which city it would be?
Oh, then I would suggest Lahore.
Oh, okay. Why is that?
Why is that? Because we in Pakistan say that any Pakistani who has not visited Lahore is yet to born. It's a city full of culture. It has so many of historical sites, monuments. If you go, life does not sleep there. If you go even at 3 o'clock in the morning, you will see people outside as if it's like a daytime. There will be, the restaurants will be full of people. You will see a lot of motorbikes and motor cars on the roads also. So we say that it's a city full of life. Karachi used to be the city of lights, what we call in Pakistan. It's the largest city of our country and the economic hub of Pakistan. It's a very big city actually, but the historical sites or the monuments which Lahore has are missing in Karachi. So that's why I'm saying that although Islamabad is a capital and Islamabad is a planned city, so it has it's a beautiful green, lush green city. You will only see the government offices and all this stuff. The weather also is much better than Lahore. Lahore is a bit warm as compared to Karachi. Karachi is a little bit humid, but the temperature does not go beyond 35 degrees even in summers. Lahore touches 43, 44 in summers. And even the winters are very, very short in Lahore. Islamabad, because of its greenery, and it's on the northern side of Pakistan, so it has the weather is nice. You know, you will have excellent roads and all the streets and all the stuff. But in Lahore, because it's an old city, so planning has not been that good. So people have been making roads and the houses, you know, wherever they want to. But moving in those narrow streets will give you the time of Mughal era, or you know, the 16th or the 15th 14th century. So that's why, you know, Lahore, I can say it, that one should visit Lahore.
So after visiting Lahore, if the Lahore is not enough for a visitor, for a tourist, what else can he or she do? I mean, go to your Himalayan peaks.
Yes, there's no. If somebody is interested in the natural beauty, then of course he or she should not miss the northern areas. You know, the the mountains, the peaks, the sites, the you know, so many stuff. You know, the lush green valleys. You know, if you go to the northern areas, and of course the different rivers which they flow, the you know, the color of even the water, where there is a one point where the two different rivers meet, and one is like the color is blue, and the other is like a kind of the color of sand. So the point where they meet each other, it's amazing, you know. So northern areas are those where one should visit. And as I said, the government is doing a lot of effort in building the infrastructure. The roads have been built, you know, because of this China-Pakistan economic corridor. But still, the resorts and the hoteling facilities, they are not up to the mark. So there are a lot of plans, you know, and the construction work is going on at a very fast pace in the northern areas, because the Prime Minister is extremely focused on increasing promoting the tourism sector in Pakistan.
About these Himalayan peaks, I always like to know what is the name of K2 in your language.
We call it K2, but it's Godwin Austen.
Okay. Thank you.
But everybody knows it's K2 because I don't know how come it's maybe Karakoram 2, because it is the second largest peak in the world after Mount Everest.
Yeah, but I guess most dangerous. So that's
yeah. It's true because as they say, the elevation of K2 is more dangerous as compared to Mount Everest. So that is why the mountaineers who climb K2, they consider themselves you know, superior among the others.
Well, of course, for all the Polish people who know that some Polish people are especially interested in Himalaya because they are so good that they are really climbing the top, the most important peaks in these mountains. But we have to also say that we have sad associations with Himalaya. We lost several Polish lives there, and recently also. Himalayan sport is one, but second is generally tourism and culture. And I would like to ask you about this identity, because you said that the Indian civilization for centuries was there, but you have also a very long border with Afghanistan, and on the other side we have Iran and China. How would you describe now how the people of Pakistan identify themselves? Because the political problems are with India. So by tradition and civilization, that's all India, but politically you are divided. How could you describe this kind of identity and tensions in the same time?
Yeah, I said that it's Indus civilization. Pakistanis are always very, very proud of their identity. We do not mix or confuse with anybody, whatever our neighbors are. So when it comes to identity, we really feel proud of being a Pakistani. Of course, we have the neighbors, as I said, that Iran, Afghanistan are Muslim countries. We have a lot of religious affiliation, of course, and the cultures and traditions, especially the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. The people speak Pashto language, which is more or less the same which people in Afghanistan speak. Then when it comes to the border with India, we have Punjab, which is like half of Punjab is in Pakistan and half is in India. But on the Indian side, the majority of population is Sikh. But on the other side, the Punjab, which is with Pakistan, we have the Muslim the population, the traditions, or even the costume or the dress which people on that side of border wear is more or less the same. But when it comes to the identity, there is no confusion absolutely at all. Even it may be the same with other countries also, and it should be like that. So there is no confusion of identity. We are very clear about that, because it's actually the same time when India got independence from British India, and same is the case with us. So both started their their path of separate sovereign states together.
Yeah, we are talking about the 1947 when both these countries emerged as independent states, Indian Union and Islamic Republic of Pakistan. But we know all that the political relations between Pakistan and India are quite tense. We have a question from the audience concerning women, because of course, Pakistan being a Muslim society has special treatment of women. Of course, many people would look at Afghanistan and Taliban and this radical approach to the position of a woman in the society. So please comment on how would you describe the position of Pakistani women in your society?
Yeah, as I said, the Constitution of Pakistan gives equal right to everybody. There is no discrimination at all. There was a time when the women were not that interested, for example, in coming to the government jobs. But then the Supreme Court gave a decision that if there is a job opportunity, if the women are not applying in the same number, no department can select anybody, like all males coming. So it has to be given equal representation. Same is the case.
Can you quote any statistics as far as how many women work in the public administration, or how many women are in?
Right now there are many, because I know that in 2011 we have had around 7 of our women ambassadors in European countries. Out of we have around maybe 18 of our diplomatic missions in all the European countries, and out of them there were 9 or 10 women at the same time working as ambassadors in I also worked with 2 women ambassadors here in Poland when I was here. Both were ladies.
And you used to have also a prime minister, a woman.
Yeah, Benazir Bhutto, the most popular.
Very well-known name in Poland as well, yes.
And if you talk about the parliament, for example, we have a very reasonable representation of women in our parliament also. They can also contest the direct election, but they have been given special seats also. All the political parties, depending on the percentage of their victory, they give the names of the women parliamentarians, and even in the Senate also. So there is absolutely no problem of having any kind of a discrimination or inequality, or especially depending on this gender issue. Absolutely no. Maybe if I can say that in the remote areas, women are not going to the school. It's not that they are not allowed to. They may not be having sufficient or good opportunities of going to the school or to the college. But now the women in the villages, if they do not have a school or college or even a university of going, then they of course come to the main cities. This is another problem which you are facing. That people are moving from the remote areas to Karachi or to Lahore or to Islamabad, for that matter. So the government is focusing. There are some programs which the government has introduced. One is the Ehsaas, with the name of Ehsaas, and this is being run mostly in the remote areas of Pakistan, just to uplift the quality of life and giving more and more opportunities, especially to women.
If we talk about education of women, we have to mention here Malala, because that's the Nobel Prize in Peace from your country, a young woman who fought for education. But I have to ask you this question after this events in Afghanistan and Taliban taking over the country. Do you think some people also in your country can be influenced by this more radical approach towards women, also as far as education is concerned, or rather not? Because it's not only the border that you have in common, but there are very close tie-ups Pakistan has with Afghanistan.
Yeah, true. But there may be some, extremist elements who may get, some kind of a motivation from them. But that is not purely for this particular thing that the woman, because we are also impressing upon the Taliban that they should, because when it comes to the issue of recognition, the human rights, especially giving the opportunities to women to work and letting the girls go to school. They should be there. So, and we do not have anything of this kind in our country, and I don't think that this particular element can come and give or influence Pakistani society. Of course, the issue of security, we can show our concerns on that, because there might be this Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan might get some kind of an energy or motivation that how the Taliban's move. And this is the point actually which we were telling our Western friends in the US, that this withdrawal is of course a good decision, but at the same time the process of negotiations should have continued with the same vigor. After these Doha talks, the Taliban were sitting and they were talking, so we were saying that the withdrawal and the political settlement should be done hand in hand, so that there should not be any misconception that they have defeated the US or the NATO troops and they have conquered or they have been able to prevail the rest of the international community. So this is actually, and of course, the way they came and the way the Ashraf Ghani government disappeared automatically gives you a feel of a victory. So this thing can motivate certain, small pockets, but our government is well aware of that. Because we have learned so many of lessons. As you know, this war against terror Pakistan has paid huge price. Over 80,000 of our people, including the security forces, they lost their lives. 150 billion loss to the economy. So we know that when it comes to this kind of a situation, how to handle that.
Your government, of course, is worried about the stabilization of your country because of this problem. And of course, your economy is affected. But I want to ask you about China. It will be the last political question, because China is your neighbor. You have also the border. And we all know that China is more and more active in the whole region, also in Pakistan itself. So how do you see the future of this cooperation?
Yeah, China, we say that it's the relations are deeper than the sea and higher than the mountains. As I said, it's a time.
And you have very high mountains, the highest in the world.
So you can see that where is the benchmark. China is one of our the closest of all, especially the neighbors, and even from the rest of the world, we have a very close cooperation. We have many projects going on, especially this Belt and Road Initiative. One of the is the segment is this China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. China is investing $65 billion on this, and especially developing the Gwadar port. Because if you link this from the south of Pakistan to the north of Pakistan, this border with China, it's 1,400 kilometers. And this is one of the best and the safest of all the trade routes. And if China has to use the South China Sea, there are, as you know, there are many issues. And then the distance is coming to the Arabian Sea is 3,400 kilometers.
Right.
So you can see
so
that...
do you want to say that this port, which is, by the way, one of the largest ports on the globe, will become a Chinese port on the territory of Pakistan?
No. How can it can become a Chinese port? Of course, China is helping us. Rather, they are making an investment of developing it. Of course, it's a Pakistani port. How can it can be said that it's Chinese port? But of course, China is, as I said, that the important segment of this Pakistan-China corridor is the Gwadar port, because as you know, this is the largest and one of the this deep sea port, what they call it. It's that is why it has more value from the trading point of view. So China is helping us in developing that, and of course, as I said, it is to their benefit also. So it's like a kind of a reciprocal thing, and it's not that it's Pakistan and China relations are limited to this CPEC. There are plenty of other projects, and I can tell you that one thing, that during these times when the Pakistan was fighting against terror, there were times when Pakistan was kind of an isolated from the rest of the world. There were certain kind of implications or allegations were coming to Pakistan, that China never left Pakistan. So that is why we say that it is China is our time-tested friend. So we have, there are many cultural things. There are, the Chinese are helping us in developing different colleges, universities. We have a big diaspora also in different cities of China. So it's by all means encompassing all, what is required for best of the best relations between two countries.
Interesting. Thank you for this clarification. Last question from the audience, from Monica Skiba. It's about how to travel in Pakistan. What will be the safest, the most affordable source of transportation in your country?
Yeah.
Thanks for this question.
Affordable it depends on your pocket, that which one is affordable to you. Of course, we have, as I said, that highways, plenty of highways available. So of course you cannot drive after a certain limit. It's 120 kilometers. Don't go beyond that. You will be fined. But we have we have been having some problem with the rail connections. But there is some focus being given to that. Of course, the best is you have your own car, you rent a car, and you can stop anywhere. Or if you like, you have to travel from Islamabad to Karachi. Before these highways, I traveled once from Islamabad to Karachi in 2001, I think. So it took me like 36, 38 hours. But now you reach Karachi in 10 hours.
In any case, we wouldn't recommend maybe to drive directly in Pakistan, neither in India, because the driving style at your roads is quite different than ours.
Yeah, true.
Okay, sir, we have to conclude our meeting, but I want to conclude by one final question concerning your own career, because you are a professional diplomat, almost 3 decades in the foreign service. You served in the embassies of Pakistan in Malaysia, in Qatar, also in Germany, but you also work in Poland in 2006, 2009. I just wanted to ask you about a kind of comparison, if you see any difference, any change in our country when you came for the first time and once now when you are the ambassador.
Yeah, let me tell you that I consider Poland as my second country, and I had some options available, but I, by my choice, opted for Poland. And once I came here, that I saw a tremendous development. Even at that time I was a young guy, and I used to drive a lot, all the different cities, especially in Warsaw. But now when I see it's the quality of the roads, the public transport has improved tremendously. The young population, at that time, it was difficult to communicate. There were very few people who could speak English, but now I have seen everybody speaking fluent English. So there is a extremely positive, the feel which I got when I came here. It's a beautiful country, and this is what my purpose is, that Poland should be it is known in Pakistan, but still there is a lot to be done. Same is the case with Poland, that people may not be knowing that much about Pakistan. Let me share with you one historical fact, that we hosted around 2,800 Polish refugees after the Second World War. And the families, the grandchildren, they still remember what they heard the stories from their grandparents. And Polish pilot, Commodore, I'm forgetting his name, Mr. Torowicz, he helped in establishing Pakistan Air Force. So we call him the pioneer of Pakistan Air Force. We have a lot of respect for that couple. They stayed in Pakistan for the rest of their lives. There were 6 Polish pilots, but this couple, the wife and husband, they excelled the rest. He was one of the best pilots maybe in the Polish Air Force, but after 1952, he was in Pakistan, helping Pakistan Air Force pilots, training them, building this air and space center in Pakistan. So we have a lot of fond memories of Poland, but still, as I said, there is a lot to be done. We need to bring people to people contact more as compared with the current situation is.
Thank you very much for reminding us these historical facts, and more to learn definitely about the past and also about the present. Everyone who is interested more about Pakistan as a tourism destination and country to see beautiful landscapes, or just go to the Himalaya mountains, please read National Geographic Traveler pieces. There are quite many of them. We will also paste together with this talk. Those who are interested more in political and economic aspect, please just refer to our analysis, the Center for International Relations. Recently, we published a text on Pakistan on our Europe-Asia review. Please consult our website for that. Thank you very much for this meeting, for this diplomatic coffee, Your Excellency. It was a pleasure for us to have you here. Thank you, Michael, also for this talk. His Excellency Malik Mohammed Farooq was our guest. Thank you, sir, for your time.
Thank you very much, Madam and Mr. Michael. And it's a really, as I said, again, a pleasure and honor for me. And if there is anything, any clarification, especially because, as I said, the focus of the government is to promote tourism. And I have seen that people are interested in tourism. So if there is anything which you want any clarification, or you want to learn about any place or any site, you are most welcome. Just send us any reference to Pakistan Embassy, and we will be more than happy to help and guide you. Thank you very much once again, Madam.
And congratulations for your mango festival. Now people would know that mango comes not only from India, but also from Pakistan. It's maybe the best in the world as far as the taste is concerned.
So nice.
Thank you very much. And please be with us next month, every month, once a month, another diplomatic coffee. So see you next month, October.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.